Good now?
hmm
All right, so I don't think we're going to get Arvis on tonight. Chop might jump on a little bit later. So we have a few things to talk about. We got 2 weeks really to review. We got some big games. This is rivalry week in South Florida here. So we have some big games coming up this week. Um, let's kick it off with key results from last week, and that is Edison beating Booker T. Washington 22-3 on a Monday afternoon. What do you think about that game?
it was a good showing. I mean, Edison 22-3. That was a good defensive game for them. Um, Man, I thought I was gonna be a little closer.
Honestly, man, I think Booker T is one of those up and down teams. We can't really get a good read on Booker T. We've seen him, keep up with Northwestern, almost win that game. Then we've seen him get blown out by Central, and we see him struggle with Edison, and it's a little bit here, it's a little bit there. They do have another big game this week versus Killian, so that's something for them to look forward to. That could possibly get them going in the right direction, heading into the playoffs. They're still 4A is still pretty wide open. After Cardinal Gibbons, there's not exactly a ton of competition in that classification. So if they can turn it up in the second half of the year, maybe they can get something rolling. Um, Dillard 66-0 versus South Plantation. Huge result. I know South Plantation's really down right now, but Dillard just keeps rolling. Dillard keeps rolling. They've only allowed one touchdown this year, I think. Um, it's you got to give respect where respect is due.
You
They're,
can't you can't take away what they're doing defensively. I mean, they got something good going. They got a good group of kids over there. Um, and you can't discredit, the amount of points they haven't given up throughout this season. So, um, it's definitely a good showing for them. I know down the road they play STA in the regular season this year.
yeah, in a couple weeks.
Yeah, so that'll be something to look out for, and they just continue to just keep doing what they've been doing, and a quiet, fairly, you don't hear too much rah rah going on, and they continue to show up every week, so that's important.
Yeah. I think obviously in a couple weeks we're gonna see truly where Dillard's at. Um, I do think that they have enough offensively after seeing St. Thomas this week to make it a closer game than people thought of at the beginning of the year. I think St. Thomas is obviously going to be the favorite in that game. They're the number one team in South Florida right now. But Dillard deserves some respect, and I'm excited for that matchup. That's a potential game of the week type matchup. Let's talk about your game. Pace versus New Orleans, 26-14 after some drama. Um, Give us a little bit of insight on how that game went.
It was a good game. Nolan has a solid offense, solid team overall. That Isaiah Scott, whew, that boy a problem. They got some good talent over there, and I thought it was a good game both ways.
Yeah. I mean, Isaiah Scott is definitely one of the top players overall in that 2024 class for South Florida, in my opinion. What do you take? 2 punt returns back?
Punt return and kickoff return, one of them got called back.
Yeah. I mean, you got to. The kid has done it 2 years in a row. Impact player in South Florida. I think he's definitely one of those kids being slept on. I think he's got an Ole Miss offer right now. You could definitely see that pick up in the spring when coaches are allowed to recruit a little bit more. Um, Northwestern destroys Jackson. This is a game that used to be competitive. The final of that game, 56-0. Northwestern, since losing early in the year, has really been one of those teams that has just been on fire. I know it was a close game against Booker T, but they showed that they could play with some adversity. Uh, they are making this a much, much closer game against Central than people anticipated early at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, that's gonna be they. I don't. You was talking about the Saint West game.
Yeah, the Saint West game. I mean, the
Uh,
beginning of the year, there were some people talking about it was going to be a running clock. It's going to be a running clock.
I don't know. I mean, Central, one of those teams. They funny. Central gonna be one of those teams where defensively they're gonna come hard. Offensively, they're gonna have some dudes on that side of the ball. And the West, the West is not shining down. That game's gonna be a hell of a goddamn showing for both teams. I don't foresee a blowout, but it's if it is, the blowout will be at the end of the game. It's not gonna be the first half, because those kids, those staffs, those fans gonna be up for that game. So, I mean, shit, I wish I can be in attendance for that game. I mean, that's gonna be a hell of a game. Tiger, you got Wes on the other side. You got Caleb on the D. Like it's gonna be a crazy, crazy game.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to get into that game a little bit later, but definitely one of the big matchups of the year. Always is. Um, let's talk about a controversial ending that people are still talking about, and that is Palmetto Columbus.
Oh,
Man, I don't understand how the ending ends up the way that it does. I mean, I got to give credit to Palmetto for winning the game. They played Columbus. I mean, both teams played incredible defensively. I mean, from the looks of that game, I wish I was there. Um, it was probably the best game of last week. Looking back, 7-3, Palmetto takes the W, but Mike Jackson intercepts a pass at the end of the game and tosses the ball away. Tosses the ball away in the end zone. You think they made the right call? You think they made the wrong call?
of course it was the wrong call. Anybody in their right mind would never like Mike. I was disappointed. Mike just I don't know what he was. He an offensive guy, so maybe he was thinking pick. I mean, maybe he was thinking I'm in the end zone touchdown, just lost it. Like, but you gotta know what's going on. You got like Columbus got robbed. I mean, at the end of the day, it was a good game, but that game, that right there with Palmetto leading the whole game, a play like that will break their hearts to go home the way that happened, a pick, and then he just threw the ball, like and I mean the refs, but the refs is blew the call. There's no way you can keep that an interception. There's no way. And the issue I heard some they blew the whistle dead whatever. But at the end of the day, it got to be a fucking I don't know how you would get that back. But at
I've
the end of
never
the day,
seen
it was played.
I've never seen an interception on the end zone be called a dead ball. I've only seen special teams called dead ball in the end zone. Um, I've never seen it. This year, actually, Miramar was able to take a return out of the end zone. So it's, you know, I don't think, I think that officiating has definitely gotten worse in South Florida. Yeah,
Damn.
I think that there's just not a clear, there's not a clear
I
communication with
think
the
what threw
refs on
me
what the
off
rules
too,
are.
like Columbus was home, so you would think they would get that call out of
Yeah,
all
but
of that.
home. It wasn't their home field. It wasn't their home field. It was a neutral site game. It was
Oh,
a
it was
neutral,
neutral site.
yeah, it was a neutral
Oh,
site. I think it was at
oh,
Tropical. It's not a home field. It's not like those aren't Columbus refs. It's a GMAC game. It's a GMAC game at a neutral site. I have always seen kids run out of the end zone on interceptions. I've never seen a play called dead.
ain't no
So
fucking dead ball. But it was the wrong call. It was the wrong call. They should have called it a fumble and a touchdown for Columbus. Like, there's no like out of all the years you watch and you play football,
and even if that's the
never.
call, nobody stopped playing. That's the thing. Nobody stopped playing. Mike just dropped the
The
ball.
crazy thing
And
is,
listen,
Mike knew something was up because the way he turned around, like, oh shit, like he turned around, like the play was just, it wasn't. That's a fumble. It was a fumble.
and I've seen some people make that argument too that it was the clock said zero. In football, just because the
That
clock
don't
hits
mean
zero,
nothing.
that doesn't end the play. This isn't basketball. This isn't
Clock said
basketball.
zero.
The clock don't end the play. That clock don't end the play. The play ends.
It's
The game
funny.
ends.
it's funny
That play
because you
could
can
go on
talk about it.
for 4 minutes.
It's funny you can talk about it, but if the roles was reversed and that was your team recovering that fumble, you'd be like,
Yes.
oh. So like the real is, hey, it was a fumble. Like, but the refs made the final call. They called it. They said it stand, and we can't do nothing about it. But it was just a terrible call.
Yeah. But credit to Palmetto. Now they're in the top 15. They only have one loss on the year. You got to give credit where credit is due, and they have definitely been playing good football. Now, another disappointing result. Deerfield Beach loses to Rockledge without allowing an offensive touchdown. How in the world does that happen, man?
I don't know the ins and outs of that game.
Well, the ins and outs is Deerfield they call a trick play inside their own tent, a flea flicker inside their own tent. First drive. Rockledge has 75 yards total offense, multiple turnovers, getting sacked all over the place. How does Deerfield lose that game?
You just said how.
It's terrible.
Man, I mean, but when you in those type of games, when you in those dogfight type of games, it comes down to, one or two plays, and for that game it was that one play, and you gotta, in hindsight as a coach, it's like, oh, that's a good idea, but sometimes you get put in situations and you don't always make the best call or the right call. You can just when you're in the moment and you're back against the wall, you make a call and you think it's a good call, and I mean, but a trick play inside your own 10, that's like, that's just something that you
can't do. You can't do that. What's up, Blaine?
What's up, y'all?
Yo.
What's up?
What's good?
Chilling.
Hey, I said it on our show last week that Rockledge wasn't no slaps, and if Deerfield wasn't careful, they would take a loss to those guys.
Absolutely. I think everybody felt that way.
I said it last week.
Yeah, I think everybody felt that way. I mean, I went -7 on that game.
Columbus got robbed. What else are we talking about here? Columbus got robbed.
Yeah, the next game we got is, and you're going to love this discussion, St. Thomas versus Western High School, 31-20.
Why am I gonna love that? Time out. Western actually covered my spread. I said it was going to be St. Thomas by 17. They scored at the end, made it 10. So shout out to Western High School for covering my spread.
Yeah, they covered both our spreads.
They covered the plus money.
Some people made some money Friday night.
They covered the plus money.
Definitely made some money last night. On Friday on Western High School. I do think it was a better game than people expected in the first half. That was a 10-7 game for a fumble punt by Tyreek in Western's own territory. Once they hit 17-7 going into the half, I felt like St. Thomas had that momentum that usually kills teams, right? You have to play a perfect game against St. Thomas Aquinas. You have to force turnovers. You have to play well on special teams. And Western just did not do that. We can't win with 5 fumbles. Can't win with 6 turnovers. You can't win without a consistent running game. And Western just wasn't able to do that.
But Frank, I mean, at the end of the day, and this is no shade to Western or nothing like that. I mean, I know, you always try to stir that pot, but just talking ball, like, bro, you gotta have a running game. Like, you gotta be able to run the ball. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
If you're gonna be a dominant team in South Florida, you got, and that's really at any level of football. You got to be able to run the ball, and you got to be able to play good defense. That's just the bottom line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I don't think that they were playing bad defense. I think Camden Brown. Yeah. No, I'm not saying you were. I was just trying. I'm trying to break down what happened in the game. Camden Brown played an incredible football game. I think Hank and Xavier Terrell were able to make some plays. But overall, Western played pretty well defensively.
Is it true that they were press man on Camden all game?
I mean, they didn't get their hands on Camden at the line really at all. They didn't really get their hands on him. I mean, it was. Listen, I will say this. I don't think that either play was really bad coverage, because if you watch, they're on the both DBs were on the inside hip. Camden makes incredible incredible plays on the ball. The first one was a blur.
I
He
saw the
got
diamond
behind
catch.
Signon.
I
But
saw the
yeah,
diamond catch. That was crazy.
yeah. I think that Camden has really just come into his own.
That was big
Uh,
time. That was
yeah,
big time right there.
he's earned that pick. He's earned that pick commitment heavily. The kid has been making plays over the last few weeks that we didn't see from him last year. Just maybe due to lack of opportunity. But the kid has definitely stepped into his own and become that number one that St. Thomas needs to become what they really are, which is the number one team in South Florida right now.
Right.
Now, since we talked about probably the top 4 teams in South Florida in 8A, let's talk about this 8A. Does South Florida have a chance in 8A? I mean, we've seen all the best teams in South Florida in 8A struggle against top competition. Seminole is a very good football. They are 20-0 in their last 20 games.
Listen, Seminole is the real deal.
And Venice beat up on Northwestern, who's one of the best teams in South Florida.
Isn't Venice 7-8-0?
No, they're 8A this year.
Oh, they're 8A now?
They're 8A this year. So you'd have to see Venice before you even get to Seminole. So Let's talk about it. I mean, do you think South Florida has a chance in 8A?
Well, honestly, I mean, 8A is wide open every year. Whether it be down here, up there, every year there hasn't been a for sure 8A power. Like you talk about Seminole, they won a state championship and they've been able to do well. And they're always in those conversations. But I mean, just looking at, what we've seen over the last, not even this year, just the last couple of years, 8A has been one of those classes that's been, kind of up and down, and you never know what you're going to get. I mean, look at the Palmetto team. What was that 2 years ago with Corey Collier and Jason Marshall and those guys, and they were supposed to be, the team to go. Even Western was supposed to be a team to go. Deerfield, they're always in the conversations. Columbus has went there. They were a favorite. They go there, they lose. So, you never know, man. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't think Seminole or Venice is coming with no BS, man. I think they're coming with it, and I think when Venice came down and put a beating on what was that, Northwestern? I think
points.
Yeah, I think that was more so of a statement like, South Florida better look out.
And they got Gibbons coming up in a few weeks.
Venice got Gibbons coming up. That's going to be an interesting matchup. That's going to be an interesting matchup for sure.
I think that's gonna be the measuring stick for who Venice really is, right? Because I think right now you can't compare any of the 8A teams to Cardinal Gibbons. I think they're just in a different tier than those teams right now, how they're playing ball. And I think that if Venice can either make that a close game or win that game, then we're talking about South Florida might be on the outside looking in.
Right.
Juwan, what's your take on that?
Yeah, it's the same way. I mean, Lane hit every school. It's like AA been wide open. You think Deerfield gonna go, they don't pull it off. You think Columbus gonna pull it off, they don't. And Palmetto, they had a stout team for freaking 3-4 years.
That team was loaded, bro.
Loaded, and for them
Rashad
not to even make
Smith,
it,
they were loaded.
I mean, from top to bottom, like offense, like studs, defense, studs, and you don't finish. And I mean, as a coach, that's only a team you can dream to have. I mean, and you just don't finish. So it's definitely wide open because Western's not dominant. Deerfield's not dominant. They show spurts of goodness, and then you got Palmetto. Show spurts of goodness. They defense definitely holding their own.
No, I think Plantation 6A with Northwestern.
Damn, so they down. But I don't know. You see teams like the Central Florida teams and those teams who are solid. Like he said, Rockledge not bad. You see those Central teams, and you can always count that they're gonna be disciplined. They're gonna do what they gotta do. They may not have the best athletes, but they're gonna take care of business when it's time to do it.
Well, I know I seen Seminole twice in the off season. I seen them at UCF and I seen them at UF. And I'm gonna tell you this, that's a good football team, man. That's a good. If you think
Two
they won,
quarterbacks that are very good.
if you think they won the championship, what was that last year or whatever,
15
and
and 0.
you think that was a fluke, trust me, they got some guys, man, and they got guys all over. They got big. Of course, I didn't see their trenches, but I mean, their linebackers are stout. They got size. All their DBs are tall and long and fast. On all their receivers, they're long and fast. Like you say, they got two quarterbacks. I mean, they got guys. I seen those guys. They got guys for sure. So it's gonna be interesting to see if a team from South Florida can knock those guys off. I think do we have the talent? Does a Western team have the talent? Yeah. I mean, does a Deerfield team have the talent? Yeah. Does a Palmetto team have the
In
talent?
any of
But
those teams, right? We can talk about the talent, but you have to bring it together as
you
a
got to
team,
bring it
right?
together.
It seems
Exactly.
like each of those teams are missing something. It seems
Right.
like they're missing one thing.
Right.
Palmetto's
Schematically,
consistent offense.
and schematically, Frank, I mean, that's really what it boils down to. I think when you look at these teams, Palmetto, they don't seem, from what I've seen from them, they mainly operate on explosive plays, and if they don't get those explosive plays, then it's kind of like a grind fest. Um, Deerfield, they have explosive players, but I think again, they're trying to
Quarterback play has been
quarterback play
inconsistent.
is which with all due respect, I said that at the beginning of the season. You know what I'm saying? As far as the quarterback situation in Deerfield, I think Western is one dimensional. Offensively, defensively they'll get stops, and their defense will keep them in ball games. But when you look at those three teams, those are the three teams that when it comes to 8A football, if anybody's going to knock off a team like a team like a Venice or a team like a Seminole, you would think it'll be one of those three teams.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see about that. Jumping to the next game, I think that this team has put on a show this season. I think they've played tougher competition than we've seen in the past. It was a big criticism for them, and that was Gulliver Prep. They put on a show against Dade Christian, 43-0 against a good Dade Christian team. David Coleman's offense is always well coached. Will Fowles didn't really get the opportunity, but they kept it in check. So you got to give credit where credit's due, always. And Gulliver put on a show, 33-0 halftime. What's you guys take on that game?
Jawan?
Gulliver, I mean, we talked about this in the offseason, and it was always the schedule for me with Gulliver and them showing that they could do it. And to go out to play and beat Dade Christian the way they did. I mean, that just shows, what they have offensively is still, it's still powerful. And Carson and those guys and those receivers, those weapons. I mean, he got a ton of weapons and set in the backfield. So that offense is very loaded, and it was all about the competition, going into the playoffs, getting ready for Gibbons last year. I was hoping for a better showing, and I think this year they're sort of, making their name known and doing what they're supposed to be doing, getting prepared for the playoffs.
Looking ahead a little bit, do you think that Gibbons is still the favorite in 4A, or has Gulliver built up a resume enough this year with the competition that they've played to potentially take that?
I think both teams have shown weaknesses as the season started. I know Gibbons have a tough stretch coming up, but I don't know. It's a give and a take. I mean, it just depends on can the teams capitalize on the mistakes that could potentially happen. And it's gonna come down to just that, getting points off of field position, whether it be turnover, special team mishaps, or whatever it is. And I think Gulliver. I mean, Gibbons have shown holes, so maybe Gulliver can slide in and make some noise.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we got, like you said, Gibbons has a tough stretch coming up. and we know that Gulliver plays Chaminade in a couple weeks. That's going to be a big game, and then they got Champignon this week. So I think depending on who comes out unscathed from that tough second half schedule is who I think is going to be the favorite heading into the playoffs. What about you, Lane?
I think that Gulliver has. I think they've kind of, put some people on radar. I honestly thought the Dade Christian game would be a lot closer. I mean, I didn't think that it would be a massacre. You know what I'm saying? And from just from the information that I've got on the game, I mean, the game came down to offense, defense, special teams. You know what I'm saying? And the players for Dade Christian didn't show up. And that's just what it come down to. I mean, coaches got to coach, but players got to play. So I think that Gulliver is playing a little bit more hungrier than a lot of teams as well. Like you said, trying to prove a point of them being for real. I still think that's a bit up in the question when you talk about, really taking on like a Gibbons when it comes to playoff time. But as far as the buffer and the get ready, I think they're doing what they need to do to get ready to make a run for a state championship.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, I don't think that game was a testament to who Dade Christian is. I think it was a midday game. You're not going to see Darian Anderson get beat over the top like he did on a consistent basis. You're going to see more of a pass rush with Jaden Harris being healthy for Dade Christian whenever he comes back. I think offensively, they're going to probably get it to Will a little bit more in the second half of the year. You obviously hope so because he is the apex player in that offense. He is the guy, and if you don't get him the ball, you don't really have a chance. Next game, Killian is still undefeated. They beat Carroll City.
Gonna go undefeated though.
Oh, they are. I mean, yeah. Listen, they got to play Booker T. That's their next toughest game. And listen, Booker T's tough. They could always pull off an upset. We almost saw it against Northwestern. But what is your take on Killian heading into the 5A playoffs against Miami Central and American Heritage, who's a little banged up right now?
Killian rocks Booker T's world. Booker T, they got players. They got to get it together. It's a lot going on in Overtown. It's a lot going on down there. I'll just say that without saying, what I know. But I think with everything going on, and Booker T not really using the pieces that they have to, attack other teams' defense. I mean, their defense obviously keeps them in ball games. I mean, Central game, they got tore up. But for the most part, like they lose, 21-3 to an Edison team. That's not a bad look without any real offensive help. I think if the offense helps out in that game, even special teams helps out in that game, that's a closer game. You know what I mean? So Booker T definitely has players. But I think Killian is right now, they're on a roll. I think that, they're getting ready and, buffering to make a run for a state championship. But I think it'll come down to that showdown with Miami Central. And I think that that's going to be a good game. I mean, if they can generate consistent offense, quarterback-wise, I'm not sure what's going on. I did see AJ got some burn. I don't know if AJ is going to be the guy or the other kid's going to be the guy. I don't know. But if they can protect the quarterback, the receivers can make plays. I mean, they got 3 guys that can run the ball. Their defense, they play good defense. They got a shot, man. They got a shot. I'd be a fool to sit here and count them out. But that's a different beast on 95th Street.
It definitely is. I don't think you could say anybody else is the favorite right now other than the Rock Boys. They are 51-7, 51-7 against Booker T. That is an ass beating against a solid team. Like I said, I know that Booker T is not Booker T of old, but when you beat a team 51-7 and they got Division I kids on the other side of the ball, you got to give credit where credit's due, and that's without their quarterback. They probably should have beat Bishop Ford again without their starting quarterback. So I think the running game is pumping right now. I think that the receivers look good. I think they got some young guys on the defensive side of the ball that really stepped up this season. They got a freshman corner They got a freshman linebacker who's helping out. Dylan Reed is kind of coming to his own as the season has progressed. Man, I like Central. I like Central to win that.
Yeah, I like Central. I like Central too. I just don't think that it's going to be a blow.
Yeah. I think
it'll be like a 10. I think it'll be like a 10-point, 14-point game Central's way.
Yeah.
But Killian definitely going to finish undefeated. There's nobody that's going to beat them in the regular season.
And that's
on their schedule right now.
And that's a big step for Coach Gibson. That's a
Correct.
huge Coach Gibson because Killian,
Correct.
even just a few years ago, was not a team that people were respecting. They were not a team that people considered as a top-tier team in South Florida. I mean, I have them in my top 10, and that's not something we were talking about with Killian before.
Well, I mean, you bring in the replacements, you better win.
Yeah. A couple of teams that I want to speak about, right? And I've mentioned them before. LaSalle and Doral Academy, two teams that are undefeated, still at the midpoint of the season. LaSalle has a good chance to go 10-0 this season. And
what class is LaSalle in?
Huh? 4A.
4A. And 4A. Doral Academy?
And Doral Academy is in 7A. So they don't win the state championship, but can they make some noise to get part of the playoffs? I mean, they got Homestead coming up. I think that's the mile marker for them in the season to see
for who?
For Doral.
Shit, Homestead better be able to stop that wing T.
Yeah. You know that they've outscored opponents 199-44 this season.
Bro, listen.
Doral,
with all that, listen. You see what happened to Heritage with all that talent. Your ass better be able to stop that offense.
Yeah. And they got a running back there that can make some plays. Jason Demetrius, spoke about him before. They're not turning the ball over. They're playing good defense. They haven't allowed over 18 points in a game this season. Haven't scored less than 33. So I think Doral is a program kind of on the rise. Not saying that they're an upper tier team. I don't have them in my top 15 yet, but I think that they've put some people on notice with a 5-0 record.
Yeah, I mean, but because you want to know something, a lot of times when you're not trying to be pretty, and you're running your system, the kids believe in the system. That's offensively and defensively, and I mean, obviously, people who run the wing T is not designed to score 50 points a game. But if you don't know what you're doing on defense to stop it,
it'll be a long night.
Then it's going to be a long night, and they're probably going to put up 45 to 50 points a game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Defensively, same thing. The kids buy into what they're doing defensively. They can line up and they can go toe-to-toe with anybody. And I just think, they play against a team that just completely out-talents them, like a Homestead team could do. Then,
Southbridge, they beat the shit out of Southbridge.
Who, Homestead?
No, Doral.
Oh, Doral. Yeah, but Southbridge is their,
There's still talent over there. You know what I'm saying?
There's talent. Shout out to my boy Jerry Browley.
Yeah, they still got some talent over there, and to beat Southbridge 37-6, a public school team, I think that puts them. That gives them a little bit more respect. It gives them a little bit more respect. LaSalle, though, man, LaSalle is playing some good football. Do you think that they're a sleeper team in that 4A classification, or they just don't have enough yet?
I personally haven't seen them. Jawan, have you seen them?
No, I don't even know what classification it is. I don't. But
I better learn.
See them. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to my boy Quez though. Shout out to my boy Quez down there at LaSalle.
The linebacker.
They got a couple of young kids over there.
Quez the real deal, man.
And then they got a quarterback who's playing some really good football right now. They're coaching it up. Those are some guys that have been together for a little bit now. I think those are the guys that run 3 or 5 stars. I'm not sure, though. But they do a good job. They do a good job, man, and I got to give credit where credit's due. Just wanted to speak on that. We always talk about the top teams, but I think it's nice from time to time to give credit where credit's due. Those are 2 teams undefeated in the midpoint of the season with potential to be 9-1, 10-0. So let's look into next week.
Wait. Before you go into next week, did I miss the Pace and Norland conversation?
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
Yeah, we spoke about Isaiah Scott making some plays.
Yeah, lame.
Deshaun Trowers, obviously.
What happened, Juwan? I'm just trying to find out, bro. I'm not even being no way, like, because I didn't even know y'all was on live, bro. I came and I saw y'all was on live. I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't hear anything. I don't know. I don't know what I missed, so I got to ask.
Gotcha.
So what were you saying, Frank? So y'all was talking about what now?
Isaiah Scott had a hell of a game. He had 2 return touchdowns. 2024 receiver. Obviously, no Javon Simpkins hurts, but it's a nice W for Pace. I said with all the drama going on, they did a good job with that. But looking towards next week, Northwestern Central is the game of the week, in my opinion.
It is.
I gave -7 to Miami Central. What you guys take on that?
You said Central by 7?
Yeah.
Juwan, you want to go first?
I don't foresee 7. I'm gonna say 14, a late 14 Central.
It's just a different game, man.
It's gonna, of course, I
different
totally
game.
agree. I totally agree. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna say it's gonna be rival energy all game. Don't get me wrong, but the first half is gonna be a close game, and then by the time we get to the second half, I think Central gonna settle in. Tiger's gonna have a good game. I believe the West is gonna show. They're gonna show up, but at the end of the day, I think Central's gonna take it by 14. No, I just don't see Central showing up and being in the moment as much as the West will. That's just my opinion.
Frank, I want to go last. I want to go last. I want to go right now.
Listen, I think Dredd has done an excellent job at quarterback, right? He's done an excellent job at quarterback. Northwestern is going to bring pressure. I mean, they're going to bring pressure. They run cover 1 and cover 0, and they're going to bring that pressure on your ass. Can he handle it? That's
Miami football.
Exactly. So I want to see if he can handle that, right? I want to see if he can handle that. If it's lights out at quarterback, it might be a different game. But I got to see the kid in the bright lights of Traz Powell in the biggest game in South Florida. I think that John Harris, Donna Obo, and Ian Pope are a dynamic trio of running backs. I think that they're going to have an excellent game. I think that Andy Jean has proven himself as one of the top-tier players in South Florida this season. And I think he's going to give Central a little bit of trouble. Jamari Ford is still one of my favorite players. And I don't think that there's anybody that can tackle him in space. If anybody can do it, maybe it's Wesley Bissain. But I think they match up with each other really, really well. I think they match up with each other really, really well. And I think it's going to be a good game. I think that these two coaching staffs know each other so well. I think that this is the game that they've been game planning for since the offseason. You mark this game on your calendar, right? This is the game for them. If you're Northwestern, you can go 49, but as long as you have a big night, you're okay.
Y'all know lights out come back, right?
He does, but he broke his hand. It's gonna take some time.
Hey,
listen.
He
ain't showing up.
Hold on.
Go ahead. I told you I'm gonna wait. I told you I'm gonna wait to the end. So go ahead.
I'm mad. Fucking 10 more points to my prediction. I mean 24. I think 24 Central.
You think
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
You think they're gonna win by 24 points?
Yeah.
You think it's going to be, even if it's ugly, you think it's going to be an ugly game?
It's going to be a good, intense rivalry game in the first half. The second half, I think Central settle in and they show up and show out. I mean, I don't expect nothing less from Central at this point. They played the best competition out of state. They come, and now they are literally saying, look, we taking over South Florida. That's what they're saying. And you can't mess around.
Who sent played last week?
Central they didn't have a game out of order.
Didn't they play early? They played Thursday.
13, 20, 50, 50.
Wait, what?
Game 1, 13. Game 2, 20. Game 3, 50. Game 4, 50. 50 twice, no lights out. I think the game, listen, I think they come into the game, you got the hoorah, you got the band playing, you got the vendors out there selling the powdered donuts. They got it going on. But I think when the dust settles, keep in mind now, lights out come back this week, but he ain't just start throwing the ball Friday night. Let's be clear. He ain't just start throwing the ball Friday night. He been throwing that ball. The ball been getting thrown. It's up. I like the Rock by 17.
Y'all are so disrespectful. Y'all are so
no disrespect. Listen, no disrespect to the West. I like the Rock by 17, man.
Oh my gosh. All right. I don't think that you can make that prediction this type of game, man. I don't think you. There's certain games.
Why not?
There's certain games, right? Like there's certain games, right? Like if Miramar ever plays St. Thomas, right? Doesn't matter. St. Thomas is if Miramar is down, that's always going to be a good game. Why? Because Miramar always plays St. Thomas tough. If Deerfield plays St. Thomas, usually it's a close game, right? Like there's certain games that they're just different games, right? It's just how it is. But we'll jump to the next one. The next one is also a game that's always going to be a tough game, always going to be close, come down to the wire, and that's Cardinal Gibbons versus American Heritage. American Heritage is obviously playing without Blake Murphy.
I want to get this out the way right now.
Here we go.
I want to get this out the way right now.
Here.
Hey, you saw Lane. Oh, fuck.
Listen, I'm going to get this out the way right now. I'm going to be short. I'm going to be sweet, bro. Listen, American Heritage, first of all, Brandon Enos running around all night ain't finna win them the game. Okay? Now, I know they got some guys that can catch the ball from Brandon. But let me ask you this question. And when I ask this question, I'm not even being funny. Y'all know how I do. Has anybody heard from Santana?
Oh no.
Has anybody heard from Santana, man?
Oh, my God.
Because if Brandon Enos is at quarterback, you would only think that Santana goes crazy.
I hope so.
Listen, I would hope so.
I think he's got.
I would hope so, because if he don't, something going on, man. Something going on, man. Hey, listen, y'all know me, bro. I'm gonna call a spade, bro.
True.
I love it. Hey, listen, I love the shorties, bro. I ain't gonna never put no shorty on blast, but I'm gonna ask the question. I'm gonna ask the questions that everybody want to know. Come out. Do y'all not want to know that?
No, it's true. It's true. But at the end of the day, I wasn't that high on Santana coming in and being an offensive explosion.
Christ.
Simply because at the end of the day, to me, he's a true athlete. He's a DB.
You gotta let me tell you something, bro. Who is that? Who is that? Chop? What's up, Chop?
That's Chop in the cut.
What's up, Coach?
Hey, what's up, bud?
Though. It's true. Over the offseason, he was a big get for Heritage.
I want to say, Juwan, stop lying. Santana walked into Heritage with a lot of hype. Cut it out.
Bro, time out. Juwan, I gotta stop you, homie. When Santana showed up to American Heritage, it was supposed to be the Brandon Enos, Santana, Mark Fletcher show.
Facts.
Of course.
Let's call a spade, bro.
It is. That's what I just said. When he came in, it was hype. But at the end of the day, I wasn't high on Santana coming and being like, oh shit. I said all the time, he's a jet sweep guy, he's a screen guy. I said that as a receiver. That's no lie. but at the end of the day, I gave kudos to the staff of Heritage for being able to put him in a good situation, a good spot. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day,
You gave kudos to who?
Preseason, I'm saying, I was like, they're gonna put him in a good spot. In Heritage, they're gonna put him in a good
Nah,
spot.
listen, I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what it was, bro. Because first of all, let's be clear. Santana is a phenomenal athlete who can be used in multiple dynamics of the game, right? You're talking about returns. You're talking about receiver. You might could even hand the ball off at running back, right? But I'm gonna tell you where here's the stigma. When Santana was at Central, how much wide receiver film and work did he get?
He was playing corner. He was starting at corner.
Exactly. When Santana was at American Heritage, he was all, I mean, not American Heritage, but at Carol City, he was also starting at corner. And he was actually getting some receiver rep, and he wasn't actually getting the wide receiver rep that he could have got because they didn't put him at wide receiver a lot at Carol City. So what happened was, I'm gonna tell you what happened was Santana tore up the 7-on-7 circuit. He tore it up. I'm talking about tore it up, right? So now you go into a zone read system, right, where you have a mobile quarterback in Blake, right? You have a Brandon Enos that shows up, the #1 wide receiver in their class, right? They got some pieces, right? Where does he fit into that mix? You understand what I'm saying?
It doesn't fit his offense. That offense don't fit Santana.
That's my point.
Yo, it doesn't.
So it's not
like 3 attempts a game, if that. Like you said, you're gonna go Mark, Blake, Brandon, and oh, by the way, we got Santana. So you can't say he's not doing much. He don't get no love, no attempts. I've been to 2 of their games, and I've always seen the ball maybe 3 times total in 2 games.
Right now, also, Chop, you also got to remember this: in a spread offense, right? How many touches does each wide receiver get? Right, depending on it. So you have spread offenses that don't really have a good running back. Those offenses that don't really have a good running back, they're gonna spread the ball around like Champignon. Champignon have a solid running back, right? But they're receiver heavy. So each receiver is gonna have 4, 5, 6, 7, some 8 catches every single game. You'll have one game that one receiver have more than the other. But you have a kid like Mark Fletcher in the backfield who I still don't even think he gets enough touches that he's supposed to get, right? Then you got a Brandon Enos kid, right? And then you got them calling design quarterback runs every other goddamn play. I mean,
facts.
Where does Santana fit into that mix?
Here's what I'm going to say. I think Heritage has struggled to acclimate everybody into the offense with all that talent on the field.
I can agree with that.
Because
I can agree with that.
Brandon has been highly targeted and deservedly so, right? He's not a player, right? But Mark has not really gotten into the groove like he could have, right?
Which we're crazy.
Talking about, this is the small school Broward County Player of the Year, and he hasn't had a 100-yard rushing game yet. And I don't think it's due to the fact that Mark Fletcher got worse as a football player.
How's their O-line?
The O-line is good. It's solid. But listen, here in South Florida, how many good offensive lines do we have? I think that's part of the problem is
that's true, Frank, but you cannot overlook the fact that at American Heritage Plantation, a Chaminade, St. Thomas, they are all supposed to have the better offensive lines in South Florida, along with Cardinal. Those teams are supposed to have the better offensive lines out of high school footballs down here, bro.
I hear you. I think Heritage has struggled just due to the fact that they've had to put some of their interior offensive linemen on the defensive line due to Belazaire Bassett being hurt, struggling to find a second defensive tackle that can consistently play. I think that the linebacker situation has hurt them a little bit. They've had to go 5 front a lot of the time. So
hold on. What's the conversation? Shit, can we talk about the conversation? This conversation is Santana. All I was saying was, like, and Lane, you basically said everything in the fucking nutshell. He was at Carroll City. He was doing it all. He wasn't able to focus on his position and be a receiver. At the end of the day, can't none of us name any other receiver at Heritage other than Ennis. And if Fletcher ain't getting the ball and Santana ain't getting the ball,
Isaiah Nesmith was the #1 receiver against Chaminade. We got to give credit. Come on now. The
I
kid
heard the
Okay,
Nesbitt. I heard the
him.
Nesbitt kid can play.
Okay, him too. Okay, whatever. But at the
So,
end of the day,
all I'm saying, what we're getting on this kid, right?
we're
But
not getting on
opportunity,
him. We just
opportunity has not been there for Santana to get in the groove.
Yes, Frank, that's true.
Yeah.
And I want to clear something up. We're not getting on the kid.
yeah, we're not being negative.
When I asked that question about has anybody heard from Santana, I meant that in a sense of, okay, all the balls were going to Brandon for the most part, right? Now, there's no Blake. Brandon is throwing the ball. Is Santana targeted more? Now, it also comes down to, you know, as a player, what are you doing with the touches that are coming your way? That's on the kid. You understand what I'm saying?
We're also talking about kids. We're also talking about a kid going to a completely different offense.
Correct.
Right? Going to a completely different offense with a completely different quarterback. Right? Jaden Williams was a pocket passer, true pocket passer, that was going to try to get it to Santana 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 times a game. We're going to try to get him involved in different ways, right? But not saying anything bad about Blake. He's just a different quarterback than Jaden Williams, right? So Santana is getting acclimated to a new scheme with less opportunity, right? With a huge spotlight on him on a consistent basis. So I think
live up to the 4 stars and the 30s plus offers, man.
Yeah, I think in the second half, in the second half of the season they're going to have to get him involved if they want to be successful, right?
You can't, Frank. It's no other. Like when you think about it, right? When you talk about the Nesmith kid, right? That kid is good. You know me, I'm a receiver guy. That kid can play football, right?
6'4", big basketball kid.
You can't coach that, right?
Yeah.
But when you look, there is no, okay, you got Brandon Enos getting these touches.
This man keeps saying Enos.
Listen, Enos, whatever. He's
Enos.
throwing the ball now. He's not catching it. So now it boils down to Santana, Nesmith, or G. Smith, or whoever.
You don't think they give Ty Law's kid a shot against Gibbons?
Stop it. Turn the live off. Turn the live off on that. You better cut it out. Brandon Ennis is gonna throw the ball though, because he can't throw. He's gonna throw the ball.
He's an athlete.
Yes, he's gonna throw the ball around. So like I said, they're gonna get a good chance of getting Santana that.
If you want to win the football game, you better put Brandon Ennis.
Hey, want to know what I'm kind of shocked about? They do have a kid on the team that used to play quarterback and kind of played it at a high level.
Who?
Damian Fagan.
Fagan? Yeah, Fagan can do it for sure. Fagan can get it done.
Fagan can get it done.
Listen though, but we losing sight of this game because
I think that gives you the best opportunity to win is to take a Brandon away from receiver, right? You can still get Santana could be a huge help in the slot with the intermediate passing game, right? You don't have to rely on 40.
Bro, just get him the ball. Just get him the ball.
Yeah. I think that Fagan at quarterback would be I think
what is Fagan now? 6'4", 6'3"?
6'4", 6'5".
I know. Hey,
run.
Listen, that whole group, Blake, Mark, Fagan, all them boys. I had all them boys when they was young. FBU. I know Fagan could play quarterback, and I'm gonna tell you this, and he could play wide receiver.
Yeah, he can.
I can do it now.
And Jacoby can play wide receiver too. Jacoby can play wide receiver. He can play some ball out on the outside. He was a 4-star wide receiver before he was a big time corner. But let's jump to the next big game of the week, in my opinion, and that is Gulliver Prep versus Champagnat. I am deeply tied into this game. I'm not going to mention it on the live, but I'm deeply tied into this game.
What's that supposed to mean?
I have Gulliver winning this game minus 17.
Wait a minute. So who?
I have Gulliver winning this game by 17 points.
Okay, hold on. We're not there. Did you make a prediction for Gibbons and Heritage?
No,
I'm not. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that till tomorrow.
that's not your game of the week. So why are you waiting for
My
that one?
game week already. I always say my prediction
Hey,
because I
Lane, give me your. Don't worry about it. Stay aside. Lane, give me your prediction.
On Heritage
Yes.
and Gibbons.
Yes.
yeah.
I'm going Gibbons by 10. I'm going Gibbons by 10, bro.
If Fagan's at quarterback, where are you going?
Fagan ain't playing quarterback.
I'm just saying.
I'm going Gibbons by 10.
That's hey
Wow, yeah,
alumni. Let's hear your take. Alumni, let's hear your take.
Juwan, what you got, Juwan?
Not so quiet over there. Let's hear
Heritage by 10. Heritage by 10.
Oh,
Heritage by.
you're such
you're
a homer.
great. You're putting on
You're
for the
such-
streets.
I told you,
What? Listen,
Juwan is
listen.
never
We
going
sit here
against
talking about-
Heritage unless
we sit here talking about. Listen, hold on, Lane, because I had him against Samanar and I won. Okay, I won. Anybody else have him? Okay, but listen though. Listen, nevertheless, it's gonna be a defensive game. Hold on, it's gonna be a defensive game, and we sit here talking about Heritage, but is Gibbons' offense polished like that? Their quarterback situation, what's going on there? Who their best receiver? Like, we ain't really talking about that. All right, y'all heavy on Heritage because of the Blake situation, but Heritage has been a defense-led team for a minute. All right, it's gonna be a defensive game.
I'm gonna tell you this, Juwan. Gibbons got 2 quarterbacks. They got running backs.
You can only play one.
If one don't have a good game, take them out, put the other one in.
It might be too late.
They got quarterbacks. They got running backs. They got offensive linemen, defense. They are loaded all around the board.
I'm going.
I'm going Gibbons by 10. Final answer.
Chop,
Hey, don't let.
Chop. We know how much you love American Heritage. Let's hear your take on
Their defense is going to be stunning. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think that's going to be. I think Gibbons by 3, not no more than that. Like last minute field goal, no matter what it is. One thing I'll say is they blitz so well at Heritage, they cause a lot of conflict for every offense you're going to see. They're bringing all out stuff. So, I mean, Gibbons plays them every year. They know how to beat them, but
that's my point, though, Chop. That's my point.
Yeah, and Gibbons, again, they're a well-coached team. They got a good D-line, and American Heritage O-line is not bad. They're not great. They're good. So it's going to be a dogfight in the trenches, but, I mean, I do like Gibbons by 3. I just feel like right now the reason why Heritage has no identity on offense with Blake down. They've been out 2 weeks, so we don't really know what they got. They've been working a lot on their bye weeks, and I guess they didn't play the team to Louisiana for some reason. But so, like I said, it's gonna be a nice dog fight. But I mean, I think Gibbons edges them by 3 field goal.
There we go.
Yeah.
Frank, what's yours?
I'm not saying it. That's gonna come out. That's gonna come out with the.
Hey, your hat turning around. Is there a rainbow in front of it?
What?
The rainbow. Hey, you're gay,
Bro, what? Shut the fuck up.
I'm not gonna do it. You're the week. Central or West the game.
Canceled, bro. Here, let me break it down this way, right? I think Gibbons has the best defensive line in South Florida, right? They're too deep on their front. I think that Gibbons has shown some holes offensively. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's in the same realm as Miami Northwestern Central, where it's going to be a close game. I don't think either team wins by more than a touchdown, right? So I'll give my prediction tomorrow. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it was close to being my game of the week. Unfortunately, American Heritage has been game of the week like 75% of the season. So, yeah, I'm not going to go that way, but I'm excited to see the result of this game and the highlights. Next game, let's jump over to that Gulliver Champignon game. Champion not, as Bullet's dad has called him over the past week.
I was gonna say Bullet's dad's all over this saying he hope they get
not. I got Gulliver minus 17 in this game. close. I do not think it's going to be close. I think that Gulliver is on a roll right now. I don't think that Champagnat's going to be able to stop the run. I think Jaylen Brown is going to expose somebody. I think C4 is probably going to have 8 to 10 catches. I think that Carson Haggard's going to have one of those games that he's put on a consistent basis here in 2021. So blowout. Wouldn't be surprised to see this game 3 touchdowns.
You need to be at your house in the morning. Not you, mother. Yo, we're gonna be in big trouble with that prediction.
Blowout, Frank.
Blowout.
Like running clock.
I don't know about running clock, but at least 17. At least 17. I feel comfortable. At 17.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like I told Pace. If they don't get any on the ground, you better be careful.
Oh yeah, he a dog. That nigga is.
If you don't get,
and EJ can't do it by himself.
let me
EJ
tell you something,
can't do it by himself.
Frank. EJ got wide receivers. EJ is a load. You understand me?
Bro.
If they don't get EJ on the ground, you better watch out.
Bro, all I'm saying is Northwestern.
Hey,
It's gonna be. I think it's a shootout. I think it's a shootout, boy. I'm gonna be honest with you. If they don't get any on the ground, it's gonna be a shootout, bro.
I love EJ, and I think EJ is one of the quarterbacks in South Florida. But you gotta have a run game to beat Gulliver. You ain't beating Gulliver. Gulliver has 2 6'2", 6'3" corners on the outside. Safety's playing good football. They got Javon Only in the seam, right? They got Trey Lathan, who's a Power 5 fucking kid. Come on, bro. Come on. We're talking about apples and oranges here. We're talking about a young Champagnat team against a Gulliver team that has beaten Manatee, beaten Killian, beat the brakes off Killian. You think Killian's better than? You think that Champagnat's better than Killian right now? Killian couldn't get a first down. They couldn't do anything. I left that game at halftime, and I was like, oh, I got everything I need to see.
Hey Frank, give me an exact score. Give me an exact score.
Oh man,
you want a quarter by quarter?
Neo's coming to your house.
What, like
Frank,
42? It'll be like 42.
Hey, Alfred, leave me alone, man.
It's gonna be like 42-24 type game, man.
Wow. I'm gonna be honest with you, both their defense is not proven, so I think it's a high scoring game totally. You know? I do think Gulliver edges them. I don't think Gulliver blows them out though. That nigga said blow out 18 times. Blow out. Dang.
Blowout. Blowout.
Man, listen.
Hey, but I'm gonna be friendly. But I'm right.
If they don't get any on the ground, I think the game is a 8-point, 10-point game.
No.
In favor of who?
Gulliver Prep.
Yep. Neo's coming to your house too. Don't even worry about it. He's calling you hostage.
Chopper.
I'm staying away from the prediction. No, I'm just playing. I like Gulliver.
Enio is screen recording, right?
Yeah. I like Gulliver +7.
Gulliver +7?
They're my 7.
You're so friendly.
I thought this. No disrespect to, they're gonna score points though. I told you their offense is not bad.
Chop on that plus money.
hey, but on a serious note, though, Gulliver defense is not like that. Like, stop it.
Who scored on Gulliver yet this year?
Again, listen, they faced Killian in the right time at the beginning of the year. You know what I'm saying? They haven't played against a really tough offensive like that. So, did you guys forget what
Will Fowles is one of the top 10 receivers in South Florida. He had 1 catch.
Again, like I said, it's going to be close.
Hey, Chop, I wish I passed the like button, Chop. I wish I could How the kids say, I wish I could mud it. I wish I could mud the like button right now.
Telling you.
Let's hear your prediction there, Jay Wow.
I'm going 14 Gulliver.
See, I'm not too far off. There you go. I'm feeling the two scores in that game. So obviously we're all on the Gulliver train there. Killian versus Booker T. Booker T 2-3 so far this year, showing spurts at times. I got Killian minus 21 in this game.
Well, it won't be close. Killian, big.
Killian 1.
Were they playing that, Trash?
No, they're not.
That
I think they're tropical or something like that because
What's up, Wayne?
Central versus Northwestern.
No.
Killian.
Killian.
Keep it real. Don't do it.
I'm taking Killian by 21.
Oh, we're on the there.
I agree. I like that. I like that prediction.
I think
That's a good one.
I think honestly, bro, we gotta I hope Booker T can put something together, dog, because if they don't, if Booker T don't put nothing together this week, be live in the chamber next week. We might have some news.
Oh, Lord.
Uh-oh.
Overtown is going crazy right now, bro.
You see what someone said in the comments?
But he always trolling. I don't know who that is, but he always trolling.
Who is that?
I don't know. He loved Miramar.
What do you got? What do you got, Juwan? Break it down for us.
I'm going with Lane prediction. 21 Killian.
We're all on the same page. Minus 21 Killian. Killian 10-0 with a chance to be the sleeper in 5A. Next game. This is a big game. Not a South Florida game. But we got Chaminade Madonna continuing their treacherous stretch of 21 games playing Seminole, the 20-game winners in a row, 2020 8A state champions. How do you guys feel about this?
Hold on. Chaminade playing Seminole?
At Seminole.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were just talking about him earlier.
Well, I've actually been taking Chaminade to win like every week almost.
You switch up?
If Chaminade, I ain't gonna go against the crib. I'm gonna go with Chaminade again. But I'm gonna tell you like this here. They better be on. If they win, it's gonna be like a 7-0, like how they beat that team in Georgia. It's gonna be 14 Chaminade.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Let's hear you, Juwan.
I think Bullet gonna get in the end zone. Defense gonna hold it down. Yeah, I'm gonna go 7-0 Chaminade.
What's up, Chop? Let's hear it. Let's hear it. We know how much you love Chaminade. We know it's your second favorite team in South Florida.
I don't think Chaminade loses. I don't know nothing about Seminole, but they're not gonna lose. Chaminade's been a defeat, I tell you. That was a horrible display of the second half coaching on the Chaminade. They lost the Harris, but they shouldn't have lost at all. There's no shade. No, I'm just saying, like, the kids were getting that. Stop the game. They should never lost the game. Chaminade's the best team in Florida right now, in my opinion, at what I've seen. That's dominant. They're the best team in Florida.
Yeah, you.
I agree with that. I said that last week.
So you coached against Thomas and Chaminade, and you think that Chaminade was a tough.
What? I'm sorry, say again?
I said you coached against both Chaminade and St. Thomas. You think that Chaminade's a better team?
Better than people.
Okay. Gotta respect it. Listen, that's a first-person point of view. Somebody who's coached against both teams.
Chaminade is St. Thomas is not as strong up front. Chaminade's too strong up front.
Yeah, I think the front seven is playing really good football right now with Denzel and Gino, obviously.
Hey, I saw. So y'all know our game. We had a weather delay, and we had to go inside. So I saw the kid Kenyatta like some time ago, but I saw him at our game. That shit huge.
Ass kid. And I don't think that
He
I
is
don't think
huge.
I don't think anybody
K2 is freaking huge.
Coming up front, all them boys are big. I'm like, yeah, O-line. I'm like, man, we got to play against that? Like,
Yeah.
I
I almost ain't recognize him, but you can still tell he had a hoodie on. You can still tell he a kid. But I look, he was like, "What's up, coach?" And I was like, "What's up, what?" Hey, friend, you know how you.
Lane,
I'm short.
Lane, listen to this. The first time I saw Kenyatta Jackson, right, was when he was a sophomore. I'm on the sidelines watching them versus. It was a big game. It was like American Heritage or something like that his sophomore year. And I'm on the sidelines and I'm like, I'm standing next to the kids, and all of a sudden I feel like this presence near me, right? I look over, I look up, I'm like, I tell Joe Ballard, I'm like, who the fuck is that? He goes, oh, that's K2. I'm like, when the fuck did you get a senior that big? He's like, he's a sophomore. I'm like, bro, that is the biggest human being I've stood maybe in my life, bro. Like, him and Shamar are two massive kids. They're just massive human beings. So, yeah, I think on the defensive side of the ball, I don't think that there's going to be anybody probably in the state of Florida that can stop Shamana Madonna. I think that, American Heritage did an excellent job, moving the pocket around and making some things happen. I do think that Seminole has some pieces to them. They got a 2-quarterback system that works pretty well. They do have some athletes like you were speaking about before. But I like Chaminade -10 in this game. I think that they're playing too well right now. I don't think they're sleeping on anybody. I think C.J. Bailey is managing the game really well, living up.
He's starting to come around.
Looking good. Bullet, obviously, 197 against the number 15 team in the country. What do you think he's going to do against Seminole? Yeah, I like Chaminade in that game. And the last game that we are going to talk about, just for my boy Jared Jawan, is Monsignor Pace versus Columbus. Those boys
brother.
That big win against New Orleans. Columbus coming off a heartbreaking loss. Looks like they can't move the ball past midfield more than a few times a game. What is your guys' take on this game? We'll go with the bottom two guys, Lane and Chop. Go first.
Chop, put the ice cream down. Go first.
Chop's not either,
Yogurt, healthy. Listen.
Yogurt?
That's a yogurt bar?
Yeah, Greek bar. So listen.
Yeah, he bought it.
Yeah, and listen, anyways, listen, man. All right. Pace gets beat the dog crap out of them. Columbus going to come out there and light it up. They upset. They're good. They're going to take care of business. It won't be, I'm thinking 21-0.
21-0?
0.
Even with Posse there?
0.
Is Adrian playing? Is he not playing? I mean,
still there.
Is he playing though?
I don't know. I just know that.
Jawan, is Adrian playing?
I haven't been at practice either here.
Oh my God.
I haven't heard him at any other school, so he should be there.
This shit is shambles, man.
Let's get your prediction.
No.
Lane, shut up.
Yo,
shut up.
Like, listen, I knew the grease. Look, bro, I knew the grease was getting hot, but I didn't know that shit was. I didn't know y'all threw the grease over the damn window, over the balcony.
That boy said, this shit's in shambles.
Let's
Yo, it's crazy, bro. Juwan, I'm gonna holler at you on the back end, bro. We gotta talk, bro. My dog say all week.
Hey,
All week.
I don't believe it.
hey, my phone gonna die as soon as the live ends.
Yeah, I bet it is. I bet you gonna be at work tomorrow.
Like he.
Hey, Chop.
I'm gonna be at work.
Chop. I bet he gonna be at work tomorrow.
Facts.
I'm gonna be at work. That's true. I'm gonna be at work.
Oh, so you get in your car at 2:40?
Huh? No. My work changed too, man.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yo, guy is out of control.
Oh no! He
Hey,
told
Lane, your response was top 10.
Dog, y'all, I just be
That boy said.
it's all right.
I just be asking questions, bro. I just be trying to,
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But
we gotta jump on the FaceTime on the back end or something.
jump on the FaceTime. What?
Tomorrow.
Pace and Columbus. I think Pace is gonna go into the game with a ton of confidence. Shit is in shambles, and they got a newfound halo over their head. So I think they'll come in with high energy. But I think when it's said and done, and then Columbus coming off a heartbreak loss to Palmetto, I think Fernando Mendoza and the Columbus Explorers put it together. Columbus by 7.
Yeah, I'm going the same way. I'm going Columbus -7. I think it's gonna be a defensive game. I don't think either team has shown anything really offensively throughout the year, despite having ballyhooed quarterbacks on both sides of the ball. No Jeremiah Smith hurts Pace. No JoJo hurts Pace.
No, everybody hurt Pace the way it sounds.
Yeah, so I think offensively, Deshaun Trowers is obviously.
The boy still coaching though.
They're coaching.
Big win against New Orleans.
Deshaun Trowers is playing big time football. We got to give credit where credit's due. He is playing big time football, and he's been playing like one of the best running backs in South Florida. I had him as like the number 5 running back. I might have been too low on him. Kid's playing really good, stepping up big time. Yeah.
I heard he's a load too.
Yeah. Good player, man. Good player. So I'm gonna go Columbus -7. I think it could go either way, really. I think it can go either way. I think Pace has a little bit of momentum with that win over Norland, because Norland ain't a bad team by any stretch of imagination. They got some athletes. I think they have more athletes than Columbus on the offensive side of the ball. The question is, can they score on Columbus, who's pretty loaded on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, Frank, I think in their defense of Norland, you can't win with drop balls. You can't win with turnovers. And I think from what I got, that was the difference in that game.
Wait, hold on, Lane. You saying drop passes wasn't different?
No, I'm saying from what I was told, Norland had some very big drops that was game-changing plays, and they had some turnovers and that put Pace in good situations that they took advantage of. That's what I was told.
Yeah, I think turnovers played a big part. I mean, obviously, what did Gavin get an interception? Pressure on the quarterback hurt them. Shamar had a good game. It looked like Mackay had a pretty good game too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously Vincent Shavers being back helps them out. So I think on the defensive side of the ball, Pace is still going to be what they were supposed to be at the beginning of the year, which is pretty sound in the front 7. And they got some young talent. Got some talent on the back end that showed up. So we'll see. It's a good game. Now, let's throw Chop a bone here. Western Cypress Bay, and we can finish off with this. Cypress Bay is undefeated so far this season. They've had some clutch victories.
Oh, that seems like everybody undefeated. God damn.
Yeah, they're undefeated right now. Western coming off that big loss against St. Thomas. What's your guys' prediction for this game?
Who was their best team they played?
Cyprus? Probably MacArthur. Hey, MacArthur, you got to talk about your boys there, Lane. He's sleeping. Let's hear your guys' predictions on this one.
Bro, they wildin'. I mean, Western by 35. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know.
At least.
That game's gonna be ridiculous. Leave at halftime.
I'm taking Western running clock. They finna beat the shit out them people, man.
I think it's a rivalry. I think they're gonna come up to play. They want to come off that W.
Man,
they want to come off the loss with a big W.
I like Coach Rocco. I think he's a good person. Western finna run the clock.
Oh man, that's funny.
I think they're gonna bring ammo. They're gonna start making the green card jokes. I think it's gonna get personal. It's gonna be a big game at the school throughout the week.
I think
play, and it's gonna be 28-0 first quarter type game.
You know what's crazy? I think this game is honestly more of a moral win for Cypress Bay. If it's close at all, they're good.
Somebody said JYG said 72-3.
And you're done.
And you're done. So listen, we got it all wrapped up. I think overall everybody's got Central. Everybody's pretty much on the Gibbons train. I haven't decided on who I'm going to be yet. Obviously, Juwan loves himself some American heritage. It's
50-50
basis.
It's 50-50 because you already
blowing out
going heritage, bro.
We got Gulliver. Everybody's got Gulliver over Champagnat. Killian blowing out Booker T. We got Chaminade beating Seminole. Pretty much everybody on that page. And Columbus over Pace. Juwan, you got your work cut out for you. Listen, it was a good show. We are about an hour and a half into this. We're going to cut this off. See y'all next week. We'll see Lane tomorrow on his show, which I'm sure should be full of DJing and talking shit, the usual.
It's up in the
uncut.
Hey, make sure y'all boys tap into the players' chamber tomorrow. We in the locker room, man. You already know how we do. It's up.
All right, appreciate you coming on. We'll see you guys next.
No doubt. Thanks for having me. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.